Are you drawn to the eerie mysteries lurking in the depths of the wilderness? Do you dare to venture into the unknown, seeking thrills and chills beyond the safety of civilization? Or are you content to sit back and listen, letting the shivers crawl up your spine as you delve into the harrowing experiences of those who dared to tread where danger lurks in every shadow? Imagine this. You find yourself surrounded by towering trees, their branches reaching out like gnarled fingers, casting long, sinister shadows that dance in the flickering light of your campfire. The crackle of flames is your only companion, echoing through the silent forest like a whispered warning. As you huddle closer to the warmth, you can't help but wonder, what horrors lie in wait just beyond the glow of your fire? Join us, dear viewer, as we embark on a journey into the heart of darkness, where every rustle of leaves and every distant howl is a reminder that you are not alone. These are not your typical campfire tales. These are true stories of terror that will chill you to the bone and leave you questioning the very nature of reality itself. But beware, for once you start down this path, there is no turning back. The darkness will consume you, swallowing you whole until all that remains is the echo of your own fear. So gather round, brave souls, and prepare yourselves for a night of spine-tingling suspense as we unveil the horrifying truth behind the most terrifying hiking tales ever told. The Lost Trail. Our story begins with a group of friends, eager to escape the monotony of city life and lose themselves in the untamed beauty of the wilderness. Armed with nothing but backpacks and a sense of adventure, they set out to conquer the rugged terrain of the Appalachian Trail. The first few days of their journey were filled with laughter and camaraderie as they traversed dense forests and rocky slopes, each step bringing them closer to their destination. But as the sun dipped below the horizon and darkness descended upon the land, their sense of security began to wane. It started with a simple wrong turn, a missed trail marker that led them off course and into uncharted territory. At first, they brushed it off as a minor inconvenience, confident in their ability to find their way back to the main path. But as hours turned into days and their supplies dwindled to nothing, panic began to set in. They wandered aimlessly through the wilderness, their footsteps echoing through the silent forest like a haunting refrain. With each passing moment, the darkness seemed to grow thicker, swallowing them whole and leaving them stranded in a world of perpetual night. But it was what lurked in the shadows that truly terrified them. Strange noises echoed through the darkness, whispers carried on the wind that sent shivers down their spines. And then there were the eyes, glowing like embers in the blackness, watching their every move with a predatory hunger that sent them running for their lives. Days turned into weeks and still they remained lost in the wilderness, their bodies growing weak with hunger and exhaustion. They knew that if they didn't find a way out soon, they would become just another cautionary tale, a warning to those who dared to tread where danger lurked in every shadow. And then, just when all hope seemed lost, they stumbled upon a clearing in the forest, a beacon of light in the darkness that promised safety and salvation. With tears of relief streaming down their faces, they emerged from the wilderness, forever changed by their brush with death. But even now, as they sit by the warmth of the fire and recount their harrowing ordeal, they can't shake the feeling that something is still out there, waiting for its next unsuspecting victim to wander into its domain. The haunted campsite. Our next tale takes us deep into the heart of the Rocky Mountains, where a group of thrill-seekers set out to conquer one of the most treacherous trails in the region. But what they thought would be a simple camping trip quickly turned into a nightmare they would never forget. It started innocently enough, with the group setting up camp at the base of a towering cliff face, eager to spend the night beneath the stars. But as the sun dipped below the horizon and darkness descended upon the land, strange things began to happen. The first sign that something was amiss came in the form of whispered voices that seemed to emanate from the very earth itself. At first, they brushed it off as their imagination playing tricks on them, but as the night wore on, the voices grew louder and more insistent, filling their ears with a cacophony of otherworldly sounds. And then there were the shadows, shifting and swirling in the darkness like living things with a mind of their own. They danced around the campsite, taunting the group with glimpses of twisted, inhuman forms that sent them scrambling for their weapons in a desperate bid for survival. But it was what happened next that truly chilled them to the bone. As they huddled together in terror, a figure emerged from the darkness, its eyes glowing with a malevolent light that seemed to pierce their very souls. With a voice like ice, it whispered their names, promising to claim them as its own. In a blind panic, they fled into the night, running as fast as their legs would carry them in a desperate bid to escape the horrors that pursued them. But no matter how far they ran, they could not outrun the darkness that lurked in the shadows, waiting to consume them whole. It was only when they stumbled upon a group of fellow hikers that they were finally able to find safety, their ordeal forever etched into their minds as a reminder of the dangers that lurk in the wilderness. The Curse of Devil's Peak. Our final tale takes us to the remote wilderness of Devil's Peak, where legends speak of a curse that has plagued the land for centuries. It is said that those who dare to venture into the shadow of the mountain are doomed to suffer a fate worse than death itself. But for one group of adventurers, the lure of the unknown was too strong to resist, and they set out to uncover the truth behind the chilling tales that surrounded Devil's Peak. Armed with nothing but their courage and determination, they embarked on a journey that would test their very souls. As they made their way through the dense forest, they could feel the weight of the curse bearing down upon them, a palpable sense of dread that hung in the air like a shroud. But they pressed on, driven by a desire to uncover the truth no matter the cost. But as they reached the base of Devil's Peak, they were met with a sight that chilled them to the bone. A thick fog had descended upon the land, obscuring their vision and shrouding the mountain in an impenetrable cloak of darkness. Undeterred, they pressed on, their footsteps echoing through the silent forest like a funeral dirge. But with each step they took, the fog seemed to grow thicker, wrapping around them like a vice and suffocating them with its icy embrace. And then, just when they thought they could go no further, they stumbled upon a clearing at the foot of the mountain, a desolate wasteland devoid of life or light. It was there that they encountered the source of the curse, a creature of unspeakable horror that lurked in the shadows, waiting to claim their souls for all eternity. With nowhere left to run, they faced the creature head-on, their courage bolstered by the knowledge that they had come too far to turn back now. And as the first rays of dawn broke through the darkness, they emerged victorious, their bodies battered and bruised but their spirits unbroken. But as they made their way back to civilization, they couldn't shake the feeling that the curse of Devil's Peak still lingered, waiting for its next unsuspecting victim to wander into its grasp. And so ends our journey into the heart of darkness, where every step brings us closer to the edge of oblivion. But remember, dear viewer, that the wilderness is a place of untold mysteries and hidden dangers, where the line between reality and nightmare is blurred beyond recognition. So the next time you find yourself alone in the woods, surrounded by the silence of the night, remember these tales of terror and tread carefully, for you never know what horrors may be lurking just beyond the glow of your campfire. And if you should ever hear a whisper on the wind, or catch a glimpse of glowing eyes in the darkness, remember, you may not be as alone as you think.